Now, before we get into this video and the next video exactly the same, for some reason I've got crackly noises on there. So I do apologise. It might be a bit annoying, but I'm not bloody doing it all again. It's just taken me 20 minutes to do each one. I'm not starting again. But I just thought I'd let you know that I am sorry. I probably should have listened to the sound first, but I'm tired. Anyway, get into the video. Hi and welcome back to Finders Beepers History Seekers on the house review videos. I love doing these. I'm going to explain it again. I feel like I need to every week because some people just don't seem to be getting the message. This is when I look back at and explore that you've probably already seen, but it's your input. It's not just mine. It's extra stuff that I've found out. So on this one, I have found a bit more history about the place, but also it's all the bits that I don't know that you guys fill the gaps, and I love it. And sometimes you're way off, sometimes you're bang on, but it's just having that bit of a community, looking back at the video and going, you know what, this is what this was, or I was wrong about this, or yeah, I was right, because I always am. Anyway, this video, this location, I absolutely loved.
Now, you've got to remember, I do class myself as a Christian, so if you're offended, I'm sorry, but unlucky. But yeah, look, brown hair, blue eyes. Then this one, he's got his curls and he's got brown eyes. And then this one, what's with that little dodgy tash on him? That's just totally different again. Maybe he just went through, that could have been his rebellious teenage years. That's in his 20s, and that's in his 30s when he's really settled down and he's let himself go a bit and just uses the curlers occasionally.
Now, one of the things people went straight to, and I knew they wouldn't, I expected it, and I titled it for that reason. Caspersight, Ben from Caspersight is one of my good friends. He's a top lad. Really, really, really nice. But he is always going on about things being built on a graveyard. It is! It's fucking yes! Oh, we've got it, mate! We fucking got it! Let's go!
We've got a house that was built on a graveyard.
And I sort of took advantage of that. But it's true. It was actually built on an ancient burial site. Not a Christian one. It was previous to Christian. It was before that. But there was some site there previously. Now, at first, I just thought this was a house. I didn't realise it belonged to the church. And they'd put it there originally as, I think the original building was built there, the original chapel. And then they moved it across the road to the big church. And then that was knocked down altogether and replaced with the sort of vicar's house, or I don't know what it would be classed as because it would be Catholic. So it's not a vicar, it's a priest, so the priest's house. So that's why it was there. And then I think after that it had probably been turned into a normal home. But there was so many telltale signs there, to be honest. The gates had still got the crosses on and things like that. It was such an amazing house though.
I know that woman. Who is she? I've drawn that woman. And I can't remember what, somebody asked me to, they paid me to do it. But I can't remember who she is. It's not Mother Teresa. It's someone else. But I don't know who. I can't remember.
Now, there was the mystery of the woman that I'd drawn. I knew I'd drawn her at some point. Because I don't know if you know, I used to be a portrait artist back in the day. I used to work in pencils. I wasn't brilliant. I wasn't bad. I did some good ones. I did some terrible ones. People used to get me to do like family pictures where, say, you'd have, I suppose, actually, I'd never thought about it like this. So I've talked previously about Victorian death photos and how you'd have a photo with your dead child. Well, it was sort of like that a lot of the time. I got people asking for like their nan with a picture of their child, and they'd never met because one had died, or maybe they had met but only when they were a baby and things. And I used to get asked that quite a lot, to put people together in photos. So I suppose that's the modern day equivalent of it, almost, but not quite as macabre. But yeah, one of the pictures I'd been asked to do was this lady, and I've actually already forgotten her name, so I'm gonna have to. I'm so bad when it comes to names. If it doesn't go in straight away, that's it. We're done. We are done. Saint Teresa, so Saint Teresa or Saint Therese, and yeah, there was a picture of her downstairs in that little hidden kind of room, and I knew I'd seen it before, but I just couldn't think where. But now, mystery solved.
Monsieur et Madame Pierre Maché ont la joie de vous faire part de la naissance de leur fille. I'm guessing 1946. Is it the birth of their child, girl, Marie France? I'm guessing that sort of makes sense with the picture as well.
Now, a couple of things. This is the thing when I go to France and places like that and abroad. A lot of the stuff is in French or Italian or whatever country I've gone to. And I don't always have internet to do like a search so I can see what it says. I don't always have time. I can't always be bothered. I'll be honest with you, I can't always be bothered. Like, I try and work out what it could mean because I've got very small, limited amounts of French and Italian and Spanish, but limited, like very limited. So I try my best to work it out off the top of my head, but I like the fact that you guys then translate it. I've had one lady who sent me two. One of them was a card that translated as Mr. and Mrs. Pierre Maché, proud to announce the birth of their daughter, Marie France, the 5th of July 1946. And then the same person has sent another translation. I love it. If you want to do it, do it. I love it when people send the translations through. I really do. This is what it translated to. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. Really? I wouldn't have expected that. But yeah, though, there's some good translations on there, so that's always good to see. And feel free to send stuff through. I might not always use it because sometimes they're long. Like, it'll be like half a book's worth. And people will send me the translations. And it's good to know it, but it's not always, I can't always share it on here. But yeah, thank you for that.
Look at them. They look like the mafia. Look at this guy on the end with no neck. I bet they're not old, them either. They look older because they've all got moustaches. Like the guy in the middle at the back looks about 12. But the ones at the front, I bet they're no older than 25. On there. He looks like someone I know called James Wood, but with a big tash. What does that say? Oh, so it's 1917. And it says, Monsurella class, Retour de la Grande Guerre. I wonder if it was like leaving school, which means they're all 16. That can't be right, surely.
Now, next up, the group of what I said looked like young lads, like 16, 17-year-olds. It turns out it was a reunion party of people coming back from the war. They still didn't look very old, though, did they? 19... What did it say? I'm being bad today. I'm just using the phone constantly. I tried to remember it, but I've just got back off a flight from Ireland and I am tired. I've also got quite an interesting interview this afternoon. Can't tell you about it yet, though. But if it all works out, I'll let you know. Let's have a look. Yeah, the picture of the men is returning from the war or going. The notation on the photo of the group of men is reunion of class 1917 of World War One. So it's pretty cool, really. Sad though, although at least we know if it's the reunion, they've got back and they're not dead. But then the World War Two wasn't that far off, so you just don't know, do you? But yeah, I do things like that as well. Once again, it's like translations of stuff to help me understand a photograph. There's so many good photos, and then it'll have a little heading along the bottom. I need to cough. I hate it when that happens. It'll have a little heading on it or something, and I'll not quite work out what it is, or my brain will say it's one thing and it's something else, and then it just, that whole photo loses meaning and it becomes something totally different. So yeah, this is why I love these videos.
Oh, look at it. Jesus Christ. Like, literally, she works for him, but she looks like Mesut Ozil, the football player with them eyes. Or what was that guy, that American, were he an American comedian? With dodgy eyes that he looked a bit like a chameleon, pointing in different directions.
Now this next one, I knew exactly who it was and I knew people would get it right. Some people have got it very, very, very wrong. But the picture, the picture with the wild eyes, Marty Feldman is the person I was thinking of. And it 100% is Marty Feldman. But I'm sure we had some other odd... Steve Buscemi. I have heard of him, I just don't know how to say his name. But there's been loads of other ones that are just wild and absolutely nothing like what I was thinking about. But yeah, Marty Feldman is the one I was thinking of.
Look at it in here. Another bedroom. I'm sweating, by the way. Look at this picture. This room, I feel like it's about 2 foot different down to there. It's downhill. Yeah, look at her. Look at the frame it's in. It's a really old frame, that, as well, with all the detailing on it. And look at the clothing. Like, you never... She's got a little cross on there. I'm not just pointing at her boobs. I'm not Andy. But she's got like lace or something on underneath. And then I wonder what colour that was. I always wonder in these things what colour clothing they were wearing. It's got to be like a light blue or something, because if it were darker than that, you'd be able to tell. Oh, is she the same person? I think she is, isn't she? Maybe grown up a little bit more. She's got a cross around there and lace underneath. You just never know, it could even be the same lace thing she's wearing, because they kept hold of clothes. Look at her though. Another big lorry rattling by.
Now, in general, the house was just wonderful. It was one of those houses that had been kept very similar for probably the past 100 years. Hardly anything had changed, and I've always said I'd love to walk into a house that's not been touched at all. Nobody's been in there, and it's pretty impossible. I can't see that there's any house in the world that's nobody's been in there for 100 years, because people are nosy, like me. People want to see inside these places. People want to see what things were like in the past, or what they can pinch a lot of the time. And people like walking down these stairs and making lots of noise. And she's going to bang a door. I swear this office gets louder and louder and louder. Get ready. Gonna get a banging door. No, it wasn't too bad. I think I've left the doors open, that's why. Oh no, there we go, banging door. So, the house itself was wonderful. I wasn't too sure why there was feathers everywhere. It felt like somebody definitely had done it on purpose. But there seemed to be far too many just for a pillow or even a duvet. They were everywhere. It was in the... by the end of the video, I don't know if you noticed, I was getting quite, like, swallowing a lot. Like, almost coughing. It was all at the back of my throat. People were like, oh, you should wear a mask. No, I'm not going to do it. I can't be bothered. I look stupid. And I don't like it. I feel trapped. So, no. I'd rather die of inhalation of feathers, thank you. But the beds were original. Everything was original. The pictures on the wall, the wallpaper, the furniture, everything. There wasn't like a couple of DVDs thrown in here and there. It just looked so good, and probably the closest that I'm going to get to a house that's untouched, that's nobody's been in for years. It's the closest I'll probably get, and I absolutely loved it. It was a really weird night as well. The sky was really odd. I took some photos outside, which I'll put in if I can find them. It just was really spooky, like a really spooky place. And then the bells kept going across at the church, across the road as well. The occasional massive truck hurtled along, which made me jump. But it just got a really good atmosphere, a really good feeling. I didn't feel unsafe. I didn't feel like scared. I just felt like I'd gone back in time, sort of. It was almost homely. It was quite nice. It was a nice place, but weird, very very weird. And the attic room, that was weird. I felt a little bit uncomfortable in there because there was a bed made up at one end. But to have the attic with the stairs up the side of the house, I think that's traditionally French. I don't think that's something that happens in a lot of countries. I think France does that a lot with the stairs up the side. But I couldn't work it out because I knew the house was too big to be just one floor. It didn't make sense, but then once we found that, it did. But yeah, really, really, really cool place. One of my favourites of France. If you see the Explore previous to that, the one before that, the big chateau, just made everything else seem so not as good. But that house still shone through. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm going to film another one of these now. So next week I will be wearing the same sort of off black t-shirt. I need to get some more of these. They're starting to fade. I think I've got... I know originally I had 42. 42 Finders Keepers t-shirts. And I think people just think I wear the same like 3 in a rotation. I have got piles of them. Same with hoodies and stuff as well. Get some merch. I need, to be fair, we're looking at overhauling the merch and the website and everything soon. Me and Sue's just having time to sit down and doing it. But if there's any merch on there that you want now, get it. Get it before Christmas or whatever, because soon it's going to change and certain things are going to disappear. So this is your chance. Also, if you have ordered something already and it's been a little bit longer than expected, it's because sort of my fault, sort of Andy's fault, really. We moved over to to the same bank but a different bank account, and only Andy has the access still now to update things like that. So I'd not done it, so it's just not been working properly. The website's sort of gone, we don't know what to do with this bank account, don't exist anymore. So it's gone a bit mental. So if you had a bit of delay, don't worry, we're getting it sorted. You will get your stuff soon. But if you do want to get anything for like Christmas and stuff, I'd get on there now and get what you need. Right, I'm going to go now. Now I've been advertising for 5 minutes. Love you all. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.